Vayne Solidor, third son of the Emperor of Arcadia, Consul of the city of Rabanastre, and final boss of Final Fantasy XII. For my entry into Nando V movies, one villainous scene, I could have focused on any of many examples of Vayne's cold ruthlessness, but there's one that sticks with me more than any other.
Is it with hatred you look upon your consul? With hatred you look upon the Empire?
I played FF12 long ago on my younger brother's PS2, but I never got far enough to beat it. After he bought the Switch remaster for me as a gift, and it became the first Final Fantasy game I've ever beaten, I knew I wanted to discuss it on my channel, but no ideas came to me for a while. That is, until I happened upon one villainous scene, and inspiration struck. Vayne is not the most compelling villain of the FF series by any stretch, but there is much I could say about him. Before the start of the game, he killed his older brothers, and it's even insinuated that he kills his own father within the game's story to further his political goals. But for this video, I'm not going to analyze a murderous scene, but one in which his villainy could easily be missed if you don't pay attention. Near the start of FF12, Vayne arrives at the city of Rabanastre, 2 years after he led a successful war campaign against it. He has been named Consul, a representative of the Arcadian Empire in this city, and essentially the ruler of the former kingdom of Dalmasca. Rabanastre is the city of Dalmasca, home of its king Rabinas and his daughter, Princess Ashalia. Both, sadly, are thought to have died in the war. He begins his duties with a lot of fanfare. Guards are stationed everywhere, and there will be a fete to mark the occasion. The people of Rabanastre hate him. He knows this. But as any shrewd leader, he has a plan.
We will have order. I give you your new consul, His Imperial Highness Lord Vayne Solidor, Commandant of the Arcadian Empire's Western... Your Excellency.
Notice what Vayne does here. While the faceless soldier demands order, speaking down to the Dalmascans and keeping his distance, Vayne steps closer to the people, walking among them. He stops right in front of them, so close that they can toss tomatoes or rocks at him if they want. And he asks them a question.
People of Rabanastre, is it with hatred you look upon your consul? With hatred you look upon the Empire? I will endure your hatred, suffer your slings and arrows. I will defend Dalmasca.
Even as the people show how much they hate him, he presents himself as a martyr, a servant of the people. He doesn't demand their loyalty, as they no doubt expect him to. The people are shocked by this. I would be too.
Nor shall I ask your fealty. That is the due of your fallen king, and rightly so. Though King Ramanas and Lady Ash be gone, they stand ever at the side of their people.
Did you catch that? The Arcadians conquered the city and killed the king, and yet Vayne is saying that he is not there to replace King Raminas. He goes on to praise this fallen king and princess, their dedication to the people of Dalmasca, and peace. Why would he do this? The people are in mourning. They mourn their fallen monarchy. They mourn their stolen freedom. And here, Vayne takes advantage of their pain to convince them that he is suffering alongside them, that his will is the same as theirs.
I would ask only that you do your king honor. Together let us embrace the peace His Majesty would surely desire.
Again, Vayne asks. He does not demand. Then he goes on to say that the power to bring peace to Dalmasca and Rabanastre lies in the hands of the people, convinces them to forget their desires for freedom and instead strive for peace. For a moment, perhaps, the people forget that this so-called peace is at the edge of a sword. The most villainous thing about this speech is that, just 2 years before, Vayne himself orchestrated the death of King Raminas. He has no desire for peace. He only wants power. An empire does not conquer another land to give it the gift of peace. It does so to gain the resources of the land and people and use them for its own gain. Arcadia is no different. Vayne is no different. Oh, and I should mention that Lady Ashelia is still alive. Vayne is using the Fete as a way to draw her out and capture her. Kill her, more than likely. Even as the blood of their beloved king is on his hands, even as he plans to get more blood on his hands, he manipulates the people of Rabanastre, bends them to his will. After all, they are nothing but tools to him, just like everyone and everything else. Thanks for watching, and thank you Nando V Movies for this opportunity and inspiration. I've been Ken Kwame, and I'll see you next time.